Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On The Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I am super enthusiastic because we were right, but we'll get into that right here in a minute.
Yes, we are going to do our football wrap-up of the season. The NFL season concluded on Sunday with Super Bowl 52. We had the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots, and Tom Brady was going for his sixth. Him and Bill Belichick were going for their sixth Super Bowl title together, and that was halted by Nick Foles and Doug Peterson, as this game was a really good one. This was one for the ages. This was played up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Lots of hype for this game, obviously, between the Patriots and the Eagles, for all the reasons, as we said. Clearly, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And then you have Nick Foles, who's been kind of bounced around the league a little bit, was considering retirement. And then he got traded to the Eagles, or picked up by the Eagles, I should say. He wasn't traded. He was a free agent, and the Eagles picked him up from our team, the Chiefs. And he saved their season as Carson Wentz, who we all know was a great rookie last year and really had an extremely good season
Number 2 overall
this year.
pick 2 years ago, coming out of North Dakota State, and he was killing it.
He was on an MVP
They had
run.
all kind of nicknames for him. Wintsylvania, walking to him, Wentz, this, Wentz.
Exactly.
And he winced out. He got hurt.
He winced himself out. And so
I'm not laughing at that.
Right. Nick Foles came in and saved the season, won the last 3 or 4 games for him, and then the one that mattered the most, the Super Bowl. So congratulations to the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. You did it.
This game was interesting because a lot of people were a little disappointed in the lack of defense, because there was so much offense that the defenses really kind of had a hard time to keep up with the offenses. And so over 1,100 yards in this game, 538 yards to 613 yards.
Craziness.
Tom Brady threw for 505.
That's insane.
Nick Foles threw for 375 yards. I mean, it was
People were saying
ridiculous.
this was like a Big 12 game. Well, I have 2 things to say about that. Don't hate on the Big 12. And number 2, yeah, it was, because we put up offense in the Big 12. Yeah. We do that thing.
Yeah.
Well, it ended up 41-33, which was the highest total points in a Super Bowl ever, 74 points. And my thing is that people who are all like, oh, it was too much offense. What would you rather see, a Super Bowl that ended 13-10, where we're all bored and there's like 1 touchdown a half, or, one that's 12-9 where it's the field goal kickers come out? Come on, give me a break.
Right.
This was people shooting it out, and everything that Tom Brady threw, Nick Foles answered, and everything Nick Foles threw, Tom Brady answered. And the defenses, look, no, they couldn't stop a lot of what was going on.
Right.
But it was because what was going on offensively was just that good.
Exactly.
So, and hey, there was still a strip sack in the game. There was still really good defense going on.
There were some good things.
Absolutely.
There were some big hits.
Huge hits.
Some monster hits. And so, yeah, that's what you want to see. So the people that are talking about the defenses, throw that out. But this was really exciting. Tom Brady had the ball. He had the lead even at one point in time.
He got it twice in 2 minutes.
I mean, Tom Brady had his chances to win the game, and the Eagles did what they were supposed to do, and they won. So congratulations to Philly.
How about some defense right there?
Exactly.
Like, they had to stop Tom Brady, Mr. Comeback, with the last 5 seconds of the game. They had to do that too.
Right.
Okay, well, what wasn't a hit when you talk about big hits? What was not a big hit was the halftime show. JT, Justin Timberlake. Some people really liked it. Some people hated it.
Yeah.
And it kind of falls along certain cultural lines.
Well, it just fell flat in general. It wasn't that exciting. The last couple Super Bowls, people have been coming
Bruno
from the
Mars
rafters.
Killed it.
Katy Perry
killed
it.
You had, even when Coldplay was out, they had Beyonce come out too. I mean, there were having one person carry it, and people weren't happy about the Purple Rain thing, the Prince thing. So how about this? There was a phenomenal game going on. Anything else, commercials or halftime, that's just extra. I'm very proud. And 2 people that I know of picked the Eagles.
Right, absolutely. we picked the Eagles. I had them winning by 10. I was close.
You were close. They won by 8.
Yeah, so I was right in there. I figured the Eagles were going to win this one. There was just so much distraction going on really throughout the whole year. The Patriots weren't that good of a football team. They don't play in that strong of a division within the AFC, and there is a lot of distraction with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and a lot of the stuff going on. And one of the big distractions leading up to the Super Bowl was Malcolm Butler. And Malcolm Butler did not play
a single snap.
I think they said he played one snap on special teams, and that was it. And so the locker room was divided going into the game. They said there are a lot of people that were upset with how things were being run up to that point in time. And so coming out of the Super Bowl, the whole storyline has been what happened with Malcolm Butler and why did Bill Belichick bench him for a nickel corner. A nickel corner is basically your third corner on the defense. And so
and they had to move people into different positions.
They did.
All of a sudden, the Patriots defense, you had guys in different spots trying to do defensive calls and signals because, and I mean, they learned about this right before the game. It's not like they practiced this way. Butler practiced all week.
Right.
So the word on the street is that it was a little sabotage by Bill Belichick because he's not a Brady fan. I don't know. I don't care. What I do care about is that Kansas City North, a.k.a. Philadelphia, won the Super Bowl. And not for nothing, Kansas City beat both of the teams in the Super Bowl this year.
They did. Absolutely, they did. They dominated both teams. It was awesome for the Chiefs to have those wins, but it just made it more bittersweet that we weren't in the Super Bowl this year because we should have been in the Super Bowl this year.
But, hey, your teammate Darren Sproles and former Wildcat was playing in there for Philadelphia. Both Nick Foles was our backup and played a few games for us last year.
Won us some games.
Peterson was our OC. He's been with Andy Reid. So Kansas City, Philly, we feel you. We love you. Congratulations. You earned it. I don't care what Belichick did. You guys won that game, so congratulations.
Absolutely. Yeah, great job. Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl MVP as well, taking down Tom Brady. So go ahead, celebrate, and enjoy that victory because that's awesome.
World. Well, let's wrap up some college football.
Yeah, so National Signing Day was yesterday, which is why I had to go into work, and so we had to push the show to Thursday today. But National Signing Day is for all of the fall sports, basically, women's soccer or whatever fall sports are taking place for college, that is. And especially football. It's really more centered around college football.
Well, ESPN is covering the football commit.
Exactly.
And so if you've never seen signing day, they go to these local high schools. That's what Adam was doing yesterday.
It's a bit of a spectacle.
It's a spectacle. You get the local news media, and if your kids won the top 300 or whatever, top 50 on ESPN's top 300, ESPN will be there. They've got the table. They've got 2 or 3 hats, and they say, I've decided to take my talents too. They got Florida, Georgia, Nebraska, and the kid will pick up the Georgia hat and say, I'm going to Georgia, and everybody claps or leaves or what have you. So that was yesterday. It's a time for a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds to feel like rock stars.
Exactly.
And then you get what's called recruiting classes. So now you get these college teams that say, okay, we got 50 of the top 300 kids coming here or whatever it is, whatever the number is. So,
it's a big day for college football. Again, National Signing Day does go for other fall sports, women's soccer in Division I and things like that, or Division II. Missouri Western had a bunch of women's soccer commits as well. So it's big, but again, it's more centered around college football.
That's what gets the coverage.
Exactly.
So who ended up with the best classes this year?
Georgia got the #1 overall class. Obviously, they played in the national championship. Ohio State continues to just bring in top 5 classes. They're #2. Texas jumped up to #3. That's really big. So we'll kind of see how that plays out moving forward. Alabama came in at #4, which is a little bit of a surprise.
I'm surprised. I am surprised.
Then to round everything out, Penn State at 5, Clemson at 6, Miami, Auburn, and then Oklahoma, and then is it Notre Dame at 10.
So those are the top 10 recruiting classes.
Right.
But I do believe our Nebraska Cornhuskers ended up with a top 25 recruiting class.
Yes, they did. They ended up at ESPN had them at 21 actually. So
there you go.
Nebraska is sliding up in there.
Watch
One
out,
last thing that I will say. This needs to be about the kid themselves. This is a family decision. There was a kid that decided to go to Florida instead of Alabama. I don't know if you've seen that.
I saw it. It was either his mom or his grandma was out there wearing a big old Alabama shirt.
And grandma both were wearing Alabama stuff, but the kid chose Florida over Alabama, and the mom got up in the middle of the press conference and walked out. I just find that to be very alarming to me. as this is not a decision for mom or dad or auntie or sister. This is a decision for him. Being a college athlete and understanding what football is like, this is something that he has to be comfortable with. And so at the end of the day, regardless of how you may feel, this needs to be a decision about him. So I just want folks to realize that support your kid, whatever decision he makes, and then just let it go after that.
Well, I happen to be a mom of an athlete who had hard choices to make, and you do not always agree with what your kids are going to do, but at some point you have done all you can, and trust me, and I'm not shaming this mom. I don't know her.
Absolutely.
She's obviously done a great job. Her son's being recruited. But when he gets to whatever university, football team, football program he's at the Division I level, he is going to need you more than he ever has since the first day of kindergarten. Trust and believe. That young man needs your support, and that team needs your support. So I hope they can mend that fence. But, you know, once again, the SEC had 3, top 10 recruiting class, but the Big 12 and the Big 10 and the ACC both had 2 each, and then you had Notre Dame's and Independent. So, how did the Pac-12 do?
With the Pac-12, exactly.
You talk about don't play football.
Exactly. Warren G's son committed to USC, so there's something to talk about.
There you go. USC.
Anyway, we want to say we appreciate your time, folks. Thanks
we'll be
for
back
watching.
on Wednesday.
We'll see you again.